talk now. This MMA, what we talking about? Yeah, you tuned into the pod now. Gonna be hard for you to stop now. Yeah, we caged in. Yeah, we caged in. Yeah, we caged in.
Welcome back to another episode of Caged In. I'm your host, DiCarlo. Today we got a very special guest making his return to the show. It is Dee, the Revenant Reddick. How we doing, my man?
Pretty good, dog. About yourself?
I'm doing great, man. It's about time we finally got you back on the show. It's been almost a year since you've been talking to me, almost a year since we've seen you in the cage, but we do have something big to talk about this time because you will be making your pro debut at Fury 108 versus Shane Wright, going down in Texas, man. Catch weight of 160 pounds. First and foremost, man, how you feeling, dog? About to make that pro debut. How you feeling?
I'm excited, man. It's kind of like another stepping stone to the dream. So I'm just kind of treating it kind of the same way that I did whenever I switched from high school wrestling to college wrestling, but just with a little bit more intensity. So I'm ready to just get out there and start swinging again, man, and start getting some money for it.
For sure, man. 100%. About time to start cashing some of those checks for all that hard work.
Oh my God, yeah, man.
I wanted to, before we dive into, the fight preview and talking about your pro debut, I do want to look back on your amateur career a little bit because you did go 6-0 as an amateur. You finished as the Fight for It amateur lightweight champion, 3 finishes, 3 decisions. When you look back at your amateur career, man, what fight stands out to you, as the one that you're most proud of?
The fight I'm definitely most proud of, without a shot of a doubt, is the Sam Klepek fight. I probably butchered his name, I always do, but that's my boy. You look at his record, like on Tapology or anything, and it looks bad, but it's because he fights like the top guys in the state. So he's just setting himself up for a really great pro career. But the thing is, I kind of knew that you can't underestimate him because I've seen him train. He trains at ATT. ATT's great school, whatever they do, wrestling, MMA. So I had to dig that fight, and I feel like that's really the only fight that I had to work for, or it felt like that there, like when the last bell rang, it felt like it could have went either other way. And he made me have to go out and work for that. So I'm really proud of that, not only because he took me to a spot where I hadn't been before and I was able to come out of it, but just to get experience like that against somebody as good as him, it's helped me with my game as a whole. So I love that fight, man. It's a great one.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. Like I mentioned, we haven't seen you in the cage since, September 2024 when you won that Fight for It amateur title. What's been keeping you out of action for the last year, man? Why is it taking until now for us to see you back in the cage?
Man, it's just been a lot of things. Really, the main thing, honestly, is just I've talked to my manager, Jason House over at Revenant Sports. He's great. We keep a constant communication about these fights and everything, and he's been sending me fights, but it's just for whatever reason, I think about 3, 4, or 5 of them just fell out for whichever reason. So we just haven't had the best luck. And I've had some comments on my Instagram, like somebody who's a really big supporter of me was like, dude, you're just training and you're not fighting. And I'm like, trust me, like we're trying.
Yeah.
But we got the fight now, and now it's time to see what all that year of training is about to add up to. So
Hell yeah, man. Was that part of the reason why you ended up turning pro, was like finding a fight in the AMI ranks, in your region tough for you? Or were you always looking for a pro debut and then that's just kind of been a tough match make for you?
I think it was just time. And I'm really big. It's funny because I'm about to say I'm really big about team stuff, because you could probably find some things around like I hate team sports, but I really do appreciate my team at Modern Warrior with Keith Richardson, and then again back over at Iridium. And it was kind of like a joint thing where they were like, hey, like it's time, dude. Like we need to do this. Like you went 6-0, you've had some hard fights, you've had to dig. Now let's put it to the test. And they've set me up in the right spots, and here we go for next week.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. I know you always show a lot of love to your team and your coaches and your training partners. How have they helped you get ready for this next chapter of your career?
By absolutely beating the shit out of me every day. You don't really get better unless you hear the old quote of iron sharpens iron. So I'm privileged enough to have a great coach, great training staff. Like dude, there's a kid who he's from New York, but he won states down in South Carolina wrestler. He's like 19 or 20. He's like 6'3", and he beats the shit out of me every day, dude. But like you need that.
Right.
So it's just a combination of those things. That's just been helping me get better, man. I've been trying to focus a little bit more on the mental side, mainly because I don't want to have the same thing happen with wrestling that happened where, you're the shit in high school. Like I was top of the state, whatever. But in college, nobody cares. And I think it's fair to equate kind of the same thing from the amateur to the pro scene. Like you said, 6-0, lightweight belt. But the pro thing, that guy that's sitting across from me does not give a damn about any of that. So just a combination of those things has kind of helped me prepare for this transition to going pro.
Yeah, man. Have you felt like a mental switch knowing that the amateur career is kind of a race? You're getting ready to turn pro. You start clean slate 0-0. Is there a little bit of a mental switch there for you as well?
Yeah, there's definitely a refocus and a rewiring of my thought process and how everything goes, man, because there's just a lot of extra factors. Like there's elbows, there's knees, there's continuations after strikes. It's just kind of like a different ball game or an advanced ball game whenever you get to the pro level. Um, so just working on a bunch of the mental things really, and it really kind of clicked for me last week because I was really like hitting myself in the head, dude. I was hesitating on like things that I would usually just shoot, and then things that I would usually just shoot, I would hesitate on. So about yesterday or 2 days ago, there was just like a click where like I like walked in the room and it was like, we're good. So I think now that the turmoil of me going back and forth in my head about am I ready for this is kind of over. And really it's not about the opponents. It's really just about like, hey, like proving to myself that I'm good enough for this. So 2 days ago, we got that confirmation, and I'm really excited about it, man.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. You mentioned the knees and the elbows now being legal. Also, the 5-minute rounds in the pro ranks as well. Are you excited for those changes? Are you ready to utilize all those weapons now?
I'm ready to throw the knees and elbows for sure. I've only had one opportunity to ever do it in the amateur career, which was when I fought Anthony Lorenzo at Anthony Pettis Fight Club in Virginia, because their commission is pretty much like you're fighting in the UFC.
Yeah.
So that was a fun experience. And now that this is going to be like a constant thing, because that was a really fun fight, dude. It was like a party up there. And I'm hoping to bring that same party to Texas and then for the continuation of pro fights with all these things. Now, 5 minutes, I'm not excited about that, but
Yeah.
that's another story, man.
Right. You ready? You ready to get that cardio to hold up for 3 5s?
No. Maybe let's see if I can just magically start knocking people out so that I don't have to be in there for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
But
there you
no,
go.
I've got a good team behind me like we talked about before, and they've been pushing me in the right ways. And it's really just about like taking what we've been doing and just turning up the dial a little bit.
Mhm.
So all the rounds on Sundays are our live days, have been 5 minutes. Thank you, Keith, for that. Um, all the trainings have been 5 minutes, all the sled pulls and everything have been 5 minutes. So we're just kind of simulating what it's going to be like to get in that cage for the first time and adapt to that new time limit. So it's going to be good. I'm still going to hate it, even though we prepared for it, but it's going to be
All right.
good.
Hell yeah, man. Very, very excited to see you make that pro debut. So let's talk about it, man. Fury 108 going in there versus Shane Wright, who was 1-2, like we said, catch weight of 160 pounds. What do you know about this guy? And then how do you feel about him as an opponent?
I think how I feel about him is whatever. I don't have any ill will towards him or anything. Like there hasn't been any chatter like my other fights, as you've been a witness to.
Yeah.
But I have seen some of his fights, and when he does get his finishes, they're really quick. They're pretty much in the first round. So he likes to come out with like a big 1-2, and that two is so powerful, man. He just sleeps people with it, and their gym's really good with that. So we've been kind of focusing on trying to neutralize that too and taking that away from him. Other than that, um, and this is no disrespect to him at all or his team or anything, and I hope he feels the same way when I say this, but there's no disrespect at all. But I genuinely just don't think that he's better than me. And I hope he feels the same way because that's the whole point of this. Um, but as far as the matchup, game plan, I just got to go out there and just not think. You know what I mean? I've had a lot of challenges in my career with just thinking too much, and you've heard the saying before, like hesitation kills the cat. So just kind of taking that away and just trusting myself, trusting my instincts, and trusting my coaching staff is going to be the main thing in this fight. I'm not really concerned about what he's going to do, and yeah, it's going to be a good one though. I can't wait.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a fun one for sure. When you look at it stylistically, like your disciplines versus his, do you see any areas of his game besides that two that could possibly give you some issues, or do you feel like you have the advantage kind of all across the board?
Chris, I think I do have that advantage across the board. I think the only thing he has on me is power. Uh, and I don't mean that to be disrespectful. Again, he sleeps people, but the track record kind of shows that if he doesn't get him out there, then it's going to be a tough night for him. And I've taken shots before. Um, I don't want to go out there and test my chin, but I am confident that if he does, hit me with one, then I will be able to withstand it and keep powering through. And I just don't think that. I think once somebody shows that resolve, it might start to kind of seep into like the tide is turning a little bit. Because if he doesn't get that one shot in his hometown that everybody's waiting for, it's gonna be a long night.
Yeah, man, you're making your pro debut for Fury, which is known as one of the biggest, up and coming promotions for up and coming prospects and talent. How excited are you to make your debut, in Texas for Fury and on a platform like UFC Fight Pass?
I'm super excited and I'm honored and privileged that just some freaking kid from South Carolina got fortunate enough to be linked up with Jason House, who, by the way, shout out to Brian Battle, who fights this weekend. He's the one who actually, him and Keith worked together and actually got me set up with Jason. I don't think that at this point in my career right now by myself that I would have been able to have done that. So shout out to Brian. I really appreciate him for that. And then also to Eric Garcia, the promoter at Fury, for even giving me the opportunity. I'm just excited to go out there and show who I am, what it means to be from my gym, and then just to continue elevating Carolina MMA because I feel like whenever you talk about MMA states, you don't talk about North Carolina and South Carolina. That just doesn't come up like that. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I just want to thank them for giving me the opportunity to change that narrative a bit.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. I know you mentioned Brian Battle, who's fighting this weekend. They're up in Chicago. You're out in Texas next weekend. Team's doing a
Mhm.
lot of traveling. Who's making the trip out with you next weekend to Texas, and who might we see in the corner?
So right now, I do believe main eventing that card. I believe there. So it was Giannis versus Kamara, but
Mhm.
Giannis ended up getting signed to the UFC, so
Right.
that fight got scrapped. So Jonathan Martin from Carolina Combat is going to be the main event now, and that's also Brian's team. So their coach is Tom Ziegler, and Keith let me know that it's going to be him and Tom in my corner. I'm bringing one of my boys, Josh Wright, amazing photographer with me. And then I got a couple guys from the gym coming out to show me love. So it won't feel like foreign territory too much because they got the gang with me.
Hell yeah, you got a big like posse coming down, making the trip out, or just a few guys here and there?
Right now, just a few guys. And to
Yeah.
be honest, like we have a young team. So like I wouldn't want anybody trying to break the bank, trying to, make that trip, especially when I don't know for sure yet where I will be on the card, but
Mhm.
I have a feeling that I mean, it's my first fight. I might be a prelim, which is fine. Um, and if that's the case, then don't worry about making the trip out to Texas, dude. Just get on YouTube and just watch the fight. Like
Yeah.
you're 20 years old and you don't know what you're gonna eat tonight. Hell, I don't know what I'm gonna eat tonight. So don't even worry about it, dog. So we got a little bit out there, but I know that throughout the training that I've been done, that those guys, they're right there with me the whole time. So damn,
Hell
man, you
yeah.
got me getting emotional. We're about to
All
tear
right,
up and
brother.
shit.
Hey, man, you got that's the way I construct these questions like that, man. That's what I do it for.
You're good at it, dog. You're good at it.
Appreciate you, brother. I also can't help but notice that you don't have the blonde hair right now, man. Is that something that we're leaving in the AMI career, or we got a box of dye coming tomorrow night, and we're getting to it for next weekend? Like, what's it looking like?
Man, so my thought process was just kind of like what you said. I was gonna leave that shit in the AMI career, not for any particular reason, but I was just like, that was then. And then I decided to make an Instagram story post with a poll asking people if I should do it. And then they said I should do it. So I'm not a champ anymore, but I am the people's champion. So we got to give them what they want. So my boy Isaac, who's actually coming down to Texas, he's a great barber. Like, I'm biased, of course, because he's my
Of
training
course.
partner. But dude, he's a great barber. So I'm actually gonna go to his shop Monday and go ahead and get that all figured out. So yeah, you'll see me all Super Saiyan up.
Hell yeah, man. Love to see it. And one more question before I get you out of here, man. What can the fans at Fury 108 expect from the debut of Dee the Revenant Reddick?
The fans can expect. What can the fans expect? The fans can expect for D the Revenant Reddick and his whole team to go out to Texas, show everybody who we are, and put a big ass black and yellow Modern Warrior flag right in the middle of Texas. And then we would get some beers afterwards because boy, I would love some carbs right now. But that's what's gonna happen. I firmly believe with my team, my teammates, the love that I've been getting from the community, we're taking this. I you're gonna have to do like some DDP plot armor shit to beat me. And even then, it's gonna be a tough night. So we're going in and we're leaving with a dub, and that's my word.
Hell yeah, man. D, I appreciate you always coming on, chopping it up with me, man. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Before I let you go, man, anybody you want to shout out, anybody you want to thank, now's your time.
Yeah, let me go ahead and do that. I just want to shout out my whole team, Modern Warrior. Like, I love you guys. This shit would be hard without you guys. I'm not gonna lie. Weight cutting sucks, but I got my boys with me, and we're gonna get through it. Um, just shout out a few sponsors. I got Victory Speaks Apparel. My boy Jake, he's been working with me to get me some stuff over, and he's been sending me some words of affirmation. Seth Stevenson, Mad Coach, he's been showing me a lot of love too. It's been spreading around to the community in North Carolina and South Carolina. Um, Manolo's, I'm going there Monday to get the blonde. Shout out Manolo's. Shout out Isaac. Um, and that's about it. If I missed you, please don't kick my ass, at least until after the fight when I'm like hydrated and shit.
Come on, man, some slack. You know, he's midway cut. The brain's not all the way there yet, you know?
That's it, man. That's it. I had to
All
cut
right.
out the lion's mane, man. It was holding water weight.
Sheesh. That's tough. That's tough. D, I appreciate you. Like I said, man, thanks for coming on and chopping it up. Always a pleasure.
Anytime,
Best
brother.
of luck. Best of luck next Friday. And we'll talk again soon, I'm sure.
Thank you, brother.
Down for the count and he can't even talk now. This MMA, what we talking about? Yeah, you tuned into the pod now. Gonna be hard for you to stop now. Yeah, we caged in. Yeah, we caged in. Yeah, we caged in.